Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be showing you how I stamped this, the new moon stamp with the stag and some of the wildflower silhouettes. So we'll be doing a few techniques with masking and inking up a roller and things. So yeah, I hope you enjoy watching, and this will be useful to recreate some of the stamping I've been doing. Okay, so let's get started. So this is the new moon stamp that I've just finished designing, and I'm using the Versamagic Cloud White, which is the most opaque white I've come across so far. So we're going to ink up the moon stamp. Looks like it's got a bit of something on it. This is the medium size of the moon, so it's worth putting quite a generous amount of the white ink on this stamp. So give it a really good covering of ink. One thing I've noticed with this Versamagic ink is as it dries it becomes more opaque. So when you first stamp it you might think it's not really as opaque as I'd like it to be, but as it dries it gets whiter, so it looks better as it goes. Alright, so I'm going to stamp this pretty much in the middle of my card, and this is sugar paper which I've just mounted with Pritt Stick on some white, heavy white cartridge paper, because I'm just really like the colours of these recycled sugar paper. I haven't actually managed to find any cardstock at the moment that I like as much, so I'm using sugar paper and mounting it on white cartridge paper. So I'm going to give this, it's one of the big, this is the medium size of the moon, and it's a 10 by 10 centimetre stamp, so it's worth giving it a really good press at the corners and in the middle. There we go. That looks like that's come out fairly well. And so this is a template I've made by stamping the moon just on a piece of paper, and which is the right size, so that we can use that as a template. So I'm just going to use a bit of tape to fix it in place, and that's going to be my mask for the white moon, so we don't get any more ink on the white moon, which we don't want. So just put that right over where the moon is, so it's nicely masked. And I think next I'm going to start doing the sky. And so for the sky I've used ash rose. I think this ash rose might have been slightly discoloured by having another ink pad on it, but that's the ink colour I've used. So I've got this is a speedball roller. It's a nice soft rubber roller, and I'm going to roll the roller, just ink it up with ash rose. This makes a lovely pinky colour for the sky. Kind of like a sort of dusk sort of colour. So then I'm just going to roll the roller across, and you can see it. You don't have sort of, it's not the most controlled process ever, I wouldn't say. You kind of slightly get what you get. but you need to just go for it. And I think because the colour it's not completely dissimilar to the colour of the background, so if it doesn't look too perfect, it doesn't matter too much. So you can just add in little bits of colour. See, we've got a bit of a line there, but you get a paler colour if you carry on as well with the second rolling. There we go. There, so I've got a nice slightly textured effect of sky there. And next I think I'm going to do the landscape that the stag's going to stand on. So for this one I had the stag standing just where the moon touched. So I've got the moon just touching the surface. So I've made this mask just by cutting a sort of semicircle shape, and then I'm going to stick that to the board and use Twilight versafine Clare for this, and I could use something to slightly protect my board with a little bit. Maybe I'll just put something under there. Protect the mark. Just to stop me getting ink all over the board. And then I just use the ink pad and just dab it, and you get quite a nice just edge by doing that, and it will match the colour of the stag. And I think with this sugar paper, because it's got a little bit of texture, you pick up a little bit of the texture from the paper, which is quite nice. You don't have to make it totally solid. I think I'm going to leave it like that. Okay, so that's that done. I can take the mask off now. There, so there we've got our landscape for the stag to stand on. Next we have the stag stamp. So for this we now need to take the moon off, because we don't need to mask that. A bit gently. And the stag is going to stand just on the edge. I'll ink up the stag. This the versafine Clare is really lovely for this stag, because the stag has very fine detail on it, so that really picks up. So now I've got to line up the feet of the stag with the edge of that and have him standing in the middle, so you can sort of see that. Let's line him up and stamp him. Don't want to press too hard with the ones with the really fine detail, otherwise you'll lose the detail. There, so we've got, that's stamped beautifully, and I can see all his detail in his coat and his eye and everything. And then we're going to finish off with these new flower silhouette stamps. So we've got a thistle silhouette stamp. I'm going to put this side, maybe going just over the moon a little bit. And the other side I'm going to do the I think this is called the yarrow silhouette. Just do that the other side of them over here. That's the finished card, and you can see that didn't take very long to do, and it's just a lovely, simple, effective card.